Welcome back to another episode of Drivers for Drivers. I'm Ken Cox. Today we've got Francis Ham.
Hi.
Behind the scenes we've got Arnell.
Hello.
And we've got a guest today. We've got Mr. Drew Briggs.
Hello.
And we are
Drivers for Drivers.
Hey, good job.
Yeah, that's right. First time, knocked her out of the park.
Didn't have to do several edits. Perfect.
There you go.
Right on.
You know, I wish Kenny could figure that out.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Well, you know, Kenny, Cowboys fan.
Cowboys,
come
you
on.
can't. I guess you're right. Great on the curve.
That's it.
I don't think the Cowboys have a chance. We'll just get that out of there right now. I know this is not a sports show, but I don't see Dallas at all.
That's right.
Sorry, Kenny.
Sorry, Dallas fans.
He's going to be mad watching this episode, you guys.
That's right.
My cowboy hat is retired.
That's right.
So, Mr. Briggs, Drew. So, let's get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Michigan, on the north of Detroit area.
Okay.
Utica. It was farmland, and then condos moved in.
As they do.
Yeah. And just loved my Tigers, and not so much the Lions until late, but the Red Wings,
Yeah.
Pistons, yeah. So it's a good sports town. Of course, the Wolverines, I got to do a shout-out for the Wolverines. They won the championship last year. So
Right on.
Yeah.
And the Buckeye fans are not answering their phones still. So it's been pretty rough on the Buckeyes after they lost to us. So I wear my Michigan Wolverines when I'm in that area.
Yeah. That's
Fantastic.
Yeah.
What brought you into trucking? When did you start?
Well, it's a long story, but I'll keep it short. Up in Alaska, I was going to go into the mining, and I noticed that they had a program out there for training, and a CDL was part of it because you got to move the bulldozer in and out, and so I thought this would be a good change for me, to get out of the, industry that I was in. I was in sales. I was also in cooking and restaurant business. So I took the class, and I enjoyed the heavy equipment aspect of it. And then the
Big toys.
Yeah, big toys, man. Tonka trucks, right?
Yeah.
So I was really excited about that. And then when I got into the truck, I really fell in love with the scenery in Alaska. So I was like, wow, this might be a good fit for me, a good stepping stone. So I pursued it some more, and that started my career. But I actually didn't really break in over there because they were looking at 5 years experience. So I had to go down to lower 48, and I ended up with a company out of Utah. And they completed my training with a trainer and stuff and signed me off, and off I went with a Reefer. Started with a Reefer.
Okay.
And went all across country.
How long have you been behind the wheel?
I would say professionally 97 was my first, my license. So it's been a minute.
If you do math, you can figure out how long that is.
About 27 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Not completely. I got off the road for a little bit because of health reasons and family reasons.
Sure.
And then I tried a couple other things. I tried a taxi job in Vegas and limo.
Oh, I bet you've got some stories.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
I had fun dressing up like Elvis in my cab, let me tell you. And my tips went up, by the way. A lot of people laughed at those sideburns, but I'm going to tell you, the bottom line was good.
That's right. That's right. Cool.
Yeah.
Right on. So you're running with Reefer now. What else have you pulled?
Well, I pulled dry van. I wanted to get into flatbed, but it seemed like I got better opportunities either in the dry or into the reefer. So I stayed in those two categories pretty much. So I also drove a tour bus up in Alaska, which was a lot of fun, with the guests on board the first time in Alaska and stuff. So
Up through Denali?
Yeah, right through Denali. I drove a school bus. Got in trouble for talking to a moose on a small bus. We had a lot of fun as a school bus driver up there in Alaska. They have a really cool chain-up system over there where it's out of Switzerland. You press a button and the chains swing underneath the tires. Oh, yeah. And I thought that was the coolest thing. I didn't have to get out of my bus and chain up in the hazardous conditions. But when it drops 50 below, you have to talk to dispatch, and because those kids are out there, and it can be really dangerous for the children.
Sure.
So it was pretty interesting and eye-opening at the same time.
What is your favorite memory that you have behind the wheel?
I think it was, I have to think about that because there's some really good memories of restaurants, and that's one of my weaknesses. When you're parked at a close place, that's really good. But, as driving-wise, the scenic areas that you go into Montana and Utah is just breathtaking and almost a spiritual experience. I had a American bald eagle fly next to me in Utah, and I didn't have my camera or anything, but man, he was right side next to me,
Just
flying right next to my, off in a little distance, but to see a American bald eagle fly next to you like that, it was like, wow, this is really cool. And then the wildlife, you see owls. I've had an owl go through my window, this kind of stuff. And I just got the window fixed in Illinois, by the way, and I was off my way to Indianapolis on 65, and here comes this owl. And I didn't realize a picture of an eagle was on my front dash, and I think the owl seen that as a problem. So no more birds are going to be on my front dash. And if you're listening out there, it's a true story. You don't want to put birds on your dash. That could be a safety tip, too.
That's right.
no birds on dash.
Absolutely.
It's science.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you're an owner-operator.
Yes, sir.
And how long have you been an owner-operator?
This is my first time. So I said, you know what, this is worth pursuing. Mm-hmm. And coming from Michigan, a lot of people are like, you're from Michigan?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you get a lot of recruits from Michigan, but I got that sense that like, wow, where did you come from? Well, it was a referral from one of the fellow drivers. I got stuck in, I think it was in Utah. Anyway, I'm at the laundromat, and I was praying that night. And amazingly, I meet this driver. He's telling me all this good stuff I want to hear.
Yeah.
And I just prayed, and I'm thinking, maybe this is a sign, let's pursue this. So, yeah, here I am.
How long ago was it that you made the better move? How long have you been with Giltner?
I'm going to be a year, I want to say May or June.
Okay.
I'm not too sure. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So it's been a very interesting year. I'm glad I got my Volvo. They usually don't give that to the first I guess, at that time.
It kind of depends on what we have available at the time.
Right.
And so a lot of the guys
I put in. I really want a Volvo because I was in a Volvo. I want to stay in a Volvo. I feel it's a better ride, and I've had back issues with the Cascadia. If you want to feel the bumps, and wear a back brace, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
But they're working on the suspension, so I think it's going to be a better truck, and who knows? I think it's a lot better than it used to be. They used to call them freight shakers for a reason.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So you became an owner-operator. Rates are not the best right now. We had talked about some of the things that you're doing out there on the road that are helping you save money. And if I use proper English, that would make more sense. But what are the tips and tricks that you're doing out there going down the road that's putting more money back into your pocket?
Well, I think the number one thing that I've been watching is, of late, I have to add, is watching the fuel, being very careful about fuel economy. And I met another driver that drives 55. And I talked to Mike quite a bit, and he did some similar runs. He was telling me how much money he was making with the fuel surcharge. And I said, you can make money with a fuel surcharge? And that really got my attention. Mm-hmm. And I says, so you go 55. I don't know if I can do that.
Right. I can hear you guys right now. And there's no way I'm doing 55. I'd go nuts.
Yeah. And I thought the same thing. And I started thinking of dollars and cents, and I started playing around with it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to give this a try. And I did. And I'm happily here to say it's relaxing. It actually is less stress. Of course, it doesn't, the traffic doesn't come to you very fast, so you don't have to make those last minute, quick decisions, and near misses and all that stuff goes away. It's a pretty slam dunk for me. I'm convinced that 55 you're going to see a lot more drivers pursuing that to save money, and they're not only going to make money, but you're going to see less incidents on the. You're going to be a happy safety guy. If
Marla,
this,
write it
is
down.
well received, I know a lot of drivers out there are going to be like me. I don't think I can do 55. But there's going to be some areas that you just don't want to travel with the wolf pack. I call it the wolf pack. When you have more than 4 or 5 trucks together, bumper to bumper, all going the same speed, I've seen a really bad accident up in Indianapolis, and that was what the case was. They were all running the same, right by each other. Not one of them backed out of it, and it was a rookie that made a mistake, and all of them went down and shut down the highway for a good 24 hours. It was really bad.
Sure.
So we can talk about safety. We can talk about, but the bottom line is, what's paying the bills? Fuels are the most expensive out there. So if we can save some money. And I'm not the best business guy, but I know when I put fuel in and I can get 8 miles to the gallon, it's a lot better than 5 or 6, And of course, I idle my truck, and that probably plays into a little bit of, in the bottom line too.
Sure, it does.
But, I have a sleep machine. I have sleep app, and it's been the best thing for my driving career is having the sleep machine. Not only get well rest, and that's another safety issue that, a lot of these drivers are playing video games and at night or movies or whatever, and they look like dog tired. And I says, well, you're going to go on city traffic with less sleep than 8 hours. Wow. And then I see them drinking the Monster drinks, and I see them drinking these high energy drinks, and there's such a crash. So you almost have to be a driver. You have to take some interest in your nutrition.
Oh, yeah.
And I wasn't like that. I was drinking Mountain Dews, 36 cans.
Hydrate.
I was 300 pounds, man. So I was eating the donuts.
We were talking about that earlier. We had Mark Bresson and yourself, and we were talking about your weight loss journey. What did you start out at, and what are you at now, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, sure. I'm pretty happy that I never had a weight problem until I got into trucking. You're sitting, you're not exercising for the most part. You're getting up and fueling, and a pre-trip is not exercise.
No.
And when you're picking up cinnamon buns and you're drinking 36 cans on average of Mountain Dew, which is about 12 tablespoons of sugar. Of course, I was young and just getting that sugar buzz, let's rock. And then you go to Starbucks and get that extra shot. So you got this serious coffee thing going on, and it's ups and downs. And I said, you know what? My doctor says you are not going to make it if you don't change. And you need to take interest in. And he was really down to earth to me, and just shot a warning across me, and I got interested in nutrition, and it was the best thing I ever did. I lost weight. I feel better.
How many pounds did you lose?
Well, I was right around 300. I was looking at size 50. I didn't want to go to size 50.
Yeah.
And then, I was a size 48, and then I started getting down, and now I'm at between the 36 and 40 right now.
Okay, right on.
Yeah,
great.
so I'm about 270, 260, right around there. I go up and down a little bit.
30, 40 pounds. How long have you been on doing that? How long have you been?
Well, it's been at least 2 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, it's more than that. 4 years. Let's say that. It was 4 years that I really got interested in nutrition.
I got to ask a couple questions as it relates to, your tenure so far with Giltner, and I know you're out hauling customer freight, and you're moving freight down the road, taking care of our customers. How has your interaction been with the office team, with the dispatch folks, the driver managers? We're going through some changes right now. We've got an initiative out there for Driver First, and we really mean that. And so right now everybody's going through a lot of training, to try to help the drivers. I think we could do better than what we have in the past, so that's keeping utility on the truck, trying to keep the revenue in the driver's pocket, keep them running. So we're working on our side, but overall, how has that experience been for you?
There's not a perfect company out there. Let's be frank. There's not, but this is probably the best move I've made in the industry because they do handle problems. When I deal with breakdown, they deal with it. If I have a problem with the customer or need to make another appointment, or I'm not going to make it, we can reschedule. I've been delayed we all have at shippers, and we've been delayed, and then detention kicks in and all that. So I would say overall, handling it very well. I've been to some of the top companies. I've been to the mom and pops, and I would say that I'm really happy here.
Good.
I think I found a home.
Where can we improve? Where do you see where we're lacking that we can do better?
I think all drivers would love to see maybe a driver's lounge in the future.
Okay.
A little ping pong and pool table and a shower would be nice at some of these terminals, or access to it. Even a kitchenette, where we can just basic needs of a laundromat where we can do our laundry. I came to the home office and the guy took the van, and it took forever for him to do the laundry off site. And here we are starving.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to have a little laundry situation, maybe a coffee machine, and somewhere can handle a little library or something if we're doing a 34-hour reset, and a shower. It'd be nice to just be able, if we have the time to, it'd save time and, and think about it. It could be. I've been in the industry a long time, but a shower really picks up a driver, and he can drive a lot better when he's awake with a shower.
Yeah.
So I think it's a safety issue. It's a good tax write-off.
It's kind of funny that you say that, though, because we are looking at that. We've got our yard down in Carthage.
Right.
That hopefully we're going to be boots on the ground and in that yard here in about 2 months.
Amen.
Yeah, the weather's been just kind of hurting us. A lot of rain and stuff down there, slowing construction. But Greg did acquire a property that's right there adjacent to the property that we have. So probably going to do some remodeling and stuff in that building because it's a house. It's right there.
Okay.
And then hopefully we can make some driver accommodations in there.
And that would be awesome.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many drivers would like to kick it out of the truck. You're in that truck all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could just kick back with some fellow drivers and share some horror stories or some good
Yeah,
stories,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, for
Day-to-day
sure.
business. Oh, man, do you know the construction over here in Houston? Oh, yeah. How about Louisiana or up in Washington? This is really good fellowship for the drivers, and then you meet some nice friends. I'm at the terminal. I just exchanged a couple phone numbers to some really nice drivers, and it was off topic. We were talking about health and, it's just really cool to have that fellowship out here.
Absolutely. That's cool. That's real cool.
Francis, do you have a safety topic for us?
I'd like to pass that over to Drew. Drew, can you share something with us as a safety topic for the team?
Well, sure. Now, all drivers know you need your sleep, right?
Yeah.
We talked about getting the big picture, getting involved with a wolf pack, maybe to back it off a little bit, and having the maturity to do so. If someone's trying to pass, getting off over to the lane when somebody's broken down. I see these guys, and the guy's changing his tire, and they won't get over. Could you imagine changing the tire, and a big semi's just you're getting a wedgie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's a wind-blown wedgie.
Yes,
The poor guy is trying to change his tire.
Yes, sir.
So I see that happen a lot, and that's because they don't want to back off or they're in cruise control. And I'm seeing a lot of headlights now, or just running lights on some of these personal vehicles the high beam is so blinding. To take a heed on purchasing some type of glasses that are going to reflect that, because these lights are really damaging to the eyes. I notice I'm getting spots, even with my glasses that are supposed to be reflective. So what I do is I put my blinder down a little bit, so when I'm in some really crazy, what are they trying to land, a plane or something?
Yeah, that's right.
These are like stadium lights.
Yeah.
And I give them the bright, it's like a light war with the brights and on and off and stuff. So here I am, like, whoa, I can't see the road sometimes, and I got glasses, I'm doing everything. So what I do is I tilt my head just a little bit so I'm away from that bright lights. And then the tail lights are getting bad. They're putting these especially in daytime, you can't see the brake lights.
Yeah.
And I was just running to the Mexican restaurant here locally, and one of these fancy Escalades had that thing, and they braked, but I didn't see the brake lights. And I'm sitting right here. I said, man, here this guy's traveling, with no brake lights. So with the safe, I'm kind of throwing a bunch of stuff out here.
No, that's good. It's good.
Nuggets and stuff. But, one of the things is sleep. I can't tell a driver how more important that is to get rested sleep. And melatonin is, with the study that I've done on melatonin is a helper to sleep because we're on different timetables and it's hard for us to just shut it down. We need a little bit of time out of the truck or whatever to adjust. Every driver's a little different, but when it comes down to sleep, taking melatonin for me has been a real game changer.
Yep.
And it helps me not only get a deeper sleep, and you want to get into the REM sleep. So I tell friends of mine that, I take a double dose just because I want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And I want to have a deep sleep. So sleep is probably one of the most important things. And if you're got your cell phone around your bed, get it away from you.
Yeah.
Shut it off. The temptation of that blue light, there's been studies about that blue light or whatever, that's not good for you. And just shut that phone off.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of every pet peeve of mine, or a lot of drivers would say the same, is that, you'll even see truck drivers driving with their no headset on, wiggling.
Yep.
And we're talking veteran drivers.
Yeah.
They've been out here a long time, and they will not buy a headset for $200, which is an investment to be hands-free. And the hands-free thing is not going to go away, and I think they're going to start cracking down. I've seen state troopers on bridges with glasses to see if they're on their cell phones. So, and that's a hefty fine.
Oh, yeah.
In New York, I think they take away the license.
Yeah, it's $10,000.
Yeah.
It's not cheap.
No,
It's not
it's
cheap.
not cheap. It's not cheap. You said something earlier, and I want to tack on to that. You talked about a sleep machine. Myself, I've got sleep apnea as well, and I went a lot of years without a machine, just because I had that phobia, like I don't want to have a mask on my face. I'm not going to be able to sleep like that. You know what I mean? This thing's going to choke me out.
Right.
And I finally, after keeping my wife awake for many years, snoring at night, I finally went ahead and I got a machine, right? And I put it on, and the first couple nights I had to get used to the mask, right? But the third night, it was like, oh yeah,
money.
Oh yeah, this machine's going on. You know what I mean? And I have worn it every night since then. Matter of fact, I can't see me sleeping without it now. The difference in my being, my person, from being tired and just kind of like, okay, I'm going to get through the day and I'm going to do it, right? And you're just drugged down to actually sleeping and getting up going, wow, like I got a charge of energy here, and where did this come from?
Exactly.
It's cool. It's cool,
awesome.
So
Yeah.
If a guy has that, and they need that, man, don't wait. Go for it,
Yeah, that's a shout out to the drivers that are getting older and they're putting on some weight. If you're overweight, there's a good chance. If you're snoring, you should get a sleep study.
Yeah.
And I think they've come down quite a bit, the sleep studies, and sometimes the insurance will pick it up.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I was very fortunate. I had insurance that took care of the sleep study. So I went in the hospital. They hooked me up all of these cool things. And, and the dark room. But anyway, I fell asleep, and they said, "Oh yeah, you definitely have sleep." And the stoppages was like, I was stopping breathing. I mean, I was killing myself.
Yeah.
So this was a game changer. It was a lifesaver, actually. So and we addressed the weight. We addressed the sleep thing. I was ready to get back into trucking because I did take a little bit of time off, remember? So, and I said, okay, I'm ready to go. Let's try this again. And it's been a
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. And I tell you, for me, the sleep study was the easiest because I did it at home.
Yeah.
They just give you this little box you just take to the house,
super easy.
You wear it for 2 days and you put it back in the mail. It goes to them.
Right.
And it was a done deal. Yeah, it was pretty simple.
I'm not going to poop in the box, though, for that. I still think that's kind of gross. Right? So poop in the mail. They want me to, but...
No, sir.
Yeah. No, that's right. That's right. Drew, I want to thank you for coming in here today. We don't get the opportunity very often to have a member of the team that's out there running down the road, professional driver, to come in here and spend some time with us. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to come in here and talk with us and share some of the information, with the team out here. And I want to thank all of our drivers, our professional drivers that are out there. You do an amazing job. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for what you do every day. You take good care of our customers. You take good care of us, and we want to try to return that favor and everything that we're doing now to try to help support you and keep you profitable in what you're doing. So thank you very much.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, as we end this episode, I want to say thanks to everybody. Remember your eyes and ears on the road. If you see something, say something. Thanks for making the better move.
Good. See ya.
Bye.